Greetings from the beautiful city of Dallas, Texas. Daniel Shu is my name. And usually when people hear Shu, they think that I'm a Chinese. And I usually tell people, well, if you've never seen a black Chinese, here is one. In reality, I'm from Africa, and I'm an associate professor in leadership and management. I have a doctorate degree in Christian leadership from America, and a master's degree in organizational leadership. Besides, I am a medical doctor, a radiologist. Had part of my training in France, where I also did some medical practice. And I'm also an ordained minister of the gospel. As a leadership professional, I have taught leadership for the past 15 years in different universities in Africa and the United States. I've taught at the undergraduate level, at the graduate and at the postgraduate levels. And I have supervised several dissertations at the undergraduate and theses at the master's and at the doctorate levels. From 2002 to 2014, I was appointed the first director of Haggai Institute, and I was supervising 19 countries in Africa. This American-based organization that trains leaders across the world granted me the opportunity to train leaders in more than 35 different nations of the world, and leaders of all spheres of life. You had medical professionals, you had those of the legal profession, you have government officers, and just leaders from every different sphere of life, including the clergy. And by God's grace, we were able to reach thousands of leaders whose lives we impacted through the training. And I particularly held the role of teaching leadership and associate subjects across these nations. And particularly, I was also a teacher in the 2 international centers in Maui of the United States and also in Singapore in Asia. Through this platform, we have contributed to shaping the vision and ethics of professionals around the world, emphasizing integrity, impact, and innovation. We led the implantation of the ministry in more than 19 African countries, particularly the French-speaking, and trained thousands of leaders in different countries. And you would imagine we trained government ministers, we trained politicians, parliamentarians, senators, and I would even say we also had contact with several presidents. Concerning my medical practice, I held the post of a medical doctor in many hospitals, where I also handled the post of a director. And particularly, my latter part of medical practice, I was the founder and director of the medical services of the Full Gospel Mission. The Full Gospel Mission is the biggest Pentecostal or evangelical church in Cameroon. And within 25 years, we implanted 3 hospitals and 3 health centers, which are functioning extremely well. And we raised the financial power of this part of the church from $200,000 per year to more than $2 million per year. As clergy, or as ordained servant of God, I have planted more than 7 vibrant churches in the Full Gospel denomination in Cameroon. And by God's grace, my wife and I, we came up with a curriculum in marriage counseling. And this has enabled us not only to teach pastors in the 3 prominent seminaries of the church in Cameroon, where we taught leadership, marriage, and marriage counseling, but we've also used our marriage curriculum to train marriage counselors presently in at least 5 different nations of Africa. And some of the training is in the university setting, and it goes up to the 1st degree. Because of our leadership expertise, by God's grace, we have written more than 20 books. A dozen of them are in leadership, and many of our books are being used for master's degree programs and for doctorate programs across Africa. Just to give you an anecdote, while I was doing my master's degree, I'd already written my first book of leadership. And I was sitting in class, and my lecturer, when we introduced ourselves, and I said, I am Daniel Shu, my lecturer looked at me a bit surprised and said, could you be the writer of a book on leadership called Effective Leadership, the African Challenge? I said, yes, sir. And he said, I'm perplexed because I have recommended your book for my master's students in Senegal. And now I come here to teach leadership, a master's class, and you are sitting in the class. And I just smiled and said, sir, I'm here because I want to learn more about leadership. So that's how far our books have created an impact in many, many universities. And we have about 12 of them which are being used. But also we've written a dozen of books in marriage and especially marriage counseling. Since we have this curriculum, we have manuals to train marriage counselors, even online. Fluent in both English and French, I have taught extensively in universities throughout Africa, fostering growth and excellence among students in diverse academic environments. This bilingual capacity has enabled us to bridge culture and linguistic gaps in education, making a lasting impact on thousands of students and fellow educators alike. As an associate professor of organizational leadership and management, we bring not only a wealth of knowledge and experience, but also a deep passion of mentoring the next generation of global leaders. We want to align with the mission of your institution to develop capable, effective, and ethical and visionary individuals who will make a meaningful difference in their communities and even beyond that. We will be excited to bring to your institution a remarkable blend of academic excellence and real-world leadership development experience. Our career has empowered individuals and institutions, both with strategic leadership, proficiency, and cross-cultural experiences. We want to tell you that we are available to help.